A fiery paw seeped from the man's back and made him realize what was happening. He thought he was going to die for sure, but the claw just took the nut and he screamed in fear. Avanti looked back to see the firebird preparing to eat the sleeping nuts. The screams in turn made the firebird fall to the ground in fright. When the firebird regained his senses, Avanti was frantically running for his life, and then the firebird came after him. Seeing the firebird getting closer and closer, little donkey stepped forward, which allowed Avanti to save his life while the firebird also fell on the beach. When the firebird opened its eyes again, it spread its wings, but its target was Donkey. The firebird pressed down on the wooden board, and before the donkey could react, the firebird moved the wooden board away from the target, which was only the nuts below, but spared the enemy, the donkey. But just as Firebird was about to close his eyes and enjoy the nuts below, a squirrel suddenly interrupted him. Angry Firebird thought it was the two guys before the ghost, so he shot a fire attack and suddenly lit up a huge fire. Avanti was also forced to the trunk of the tree, but unexpectedly the firebird just hooked his claws. Avanti had the sense to throw the nuts in the air. Falling nuts instantly caught in the claws. Immediately after, the firebird swallowed the nuts as expected, but unexpectedly the firebird accidentally fell into the river. Avanti and little donkey know that the sleeping nuts just now had an effect. The next day, Avanti covered the bird with an iron net to take it back to the king. The poor firebird begged Avanti to let him go and shed a hot tear of fire. Little donkey said that the firebird only releases fire when it is free. Looking at the firebird's sadness, Avanti made a decision to open the lock of the iron net and release the firebird. The firebird was free as if it was a newborn phoenix that had risen from the ashes. It first looked at Avanti gratefully and then waved its wings and shot up into the sky. The fire phoenix also left a fundamental message that it could help Avanti in times of danger. Little donkey was very worried because if Avanti didn't catch the fire phoenix, he would be sentenced to death by the king. Everyone thought that Avanti was a liar, but Avanti didn't panic at all. He explained that he had captured the phoenix. When everyone laughed at him, Avanti held up the fire feather to prove himself, but to his surprise, the fire feather became curly and dull, even worse than a chicken feather. The people around him laughed and the king enjoyed watching Avanti make a fool of himself, except for the little donkey who hid below and prayed for a miracle.